The Q2 Zillow and Pulsenomics price expectation survey was just released yesterday, which is a very highly respected and historically accurate survey of the top 100, 150 economists in the US, and it showed some really interesting forecasts on both housing and the economy as a whole. Stay tuned to learn what that showed and what that might mean for you. So, the 114 economists surveyed this time, they expect on average 4.8% appreciation per year over the next 5 years. Cumulatively, over the 5-year period, they expect 26% in total price gains over that period of time. So while we know it's not easy to buy a home and it's more expensive to buy a home today compared to last year, buying still might be the right financial decision, especially when you're looking over the long term or if you're currently renting. We've seen annual rent increases right alongside price appreciation. It is not cheap to rent for most right now. And another question in the survey was, is housing currently in a bubble? 65% said no, 35% said yes. And honestly, the 35% that said yes really surprised me. Housing bubbles are typically fueled primarily by speculation, overly loose lending practices. And we just don't see that in this market. So we have seen inventory increasing as of late, but if you watched my market update last week, you saw that the inventory that did hit the market was quickly gobbled up by buyers. We're still nowhere near a balanced market. And on the question about will the Fed achieve a soft landing, meaning will the economy slow down just enough to tame inflation and achieve the Fed's goals without pushing us into a recession, 71% said absolutely not, while only 29% said yes. Majority believe we will see a recession due to the Fed's increase in interest rates and the speed and intensity of that. So while we're talking about recession, so technical definition of recession is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. So we have Q1 GDP already in. If you probably saw in the news, the US contracted by 1.5%. So naturally, everyone's looking at Q2. So we had some bad news yesterday. The Atlanta Fed yesterday lowered its Q2 GDP forecast from 1.3% growth to 0.9% growth, which is yet another sign, we see many of these, that the economy is slowing. So we need to remember, recessions are not bad for housing or for interest rates. Both have performed historically well during recessionary periods. Both housing going up in value and interest rates going down during that period to get us out of a recession. So if you or your client are waiting on the sideline for recession to hit and potentially causing the housing bubble to burst, the odds are very unlikely that that will happen. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much for listening. Everyone take care and have a blessed day.